Hey, everybody, what's up? It's your friend James Shaw. We are doing what we do. We're talking to the elite of the elite so that you too can become elite. And straight up, we have elite of the elite, like legit elite. Hayley, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you. Tell us who you are, where you are, and a little bit about your business.
Okay, my name is Hayley Siefert. We are in Central Illinois. It's actually Danville, Illinois. I run the Siefert team. It's me, my admin, and one buyer's agent.
And listen, in Danville, Illinois, population of Danville, Illinois. I'm from Indianapolis, so I know Danville.
Yeah,
It's what? What's the population of Danville, Illinois?
29,000 people.
29,000 people. And you are on track to do how many units this year?
So last year we did 306. We're hoping to hit 300 today. We've hit 250, so we're on track, but just fingers crossed.
On track to hit 300 in a market of 29,000 people or whatever it was you said. It's you, a buyer agent, and what, one admin or two?
One admin.
Three people, 29,000 in the town, and 300 units. You had 44 closings in August and 30 something in September. We're going to learn from a legit person. And what you have figured out, by the way, your market share in your town is what? Well, you have what percentage of the market in your town? You, not Keller Williams, but
Yeah.
you have what percentage?
So in Danville, we have 45.6%, and in Vermilion County, we have 49.3% of the
Half
market.
the market. You sell half the homes in the market as just you and a buyer agent. Folks, we're going to learn from the best today. And your secret, though, it seems to me, is you're all in on giving back, pouring back, and just being part of the community. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think community support works in a small town, and I've always said if I support the community, they will support me, and I truly believe that, and I've seen that. I've been in real estate. This is my 7th year, and I've grown every single year. And so, I mean, yeah, I can attest to it.
Yeah, you said that when Vicky, who works with me on all these things, was talking to me ahead of time, you told her 90% of your business is either referral or come list my house. And
Yeah,
that
so
comes from you just giving back to the community, right?
yeah, we started targeting where our leads were coming from this year. I got a maps coach that's made such a huge difference with us actually breaking down and knowing our numbers. I was a little surprised by that, but I mean, yeah, it's we've gotten to know the people in our community. We support the police officers, the nurses, the firemen. We did a coffee day for linemen and tree servicemen. So yeah,
It's amazing. Tell us a little bit then about the events, because I feel like you're an event planner who sells real estate, and it's all about giving back to the community. Tell us about what your events look like, how you pull them off, what's the budget like, what are you doing so that others can duplicate it.
Okay, so we have one coming up. I'll start with that, and then I'll kind of go backwards with what we've done this year. We have a holiday photo shoot coming up November 4th. I just thought that was really important because our median income in Danville is probably somewhere between $30,000 to $36,000. So not everybody has a chance to get photos with their family. So when I say we, Pete Goodwin, he's an insurance agent. I team up with Pete a lot because what Country Financial will do, the business he works with, they pay for half of everything. So then him and I just have to split half of half. So we hired a photographer for a day. We can fit 60 families in, and we advertised it for 2 weeks just on social media. We both picked our top 5 clients, personally invited them, and then opened it to the rest of the community. So we are going to, it filled up within 2 hours. We have a grand prize. We got 3rd row tickets to the Bears versus Lions because the entire event was less than $1,500. So we wanted to entice other people to come if they missed that window. We got a food truck that's going to be outside, and we also have a photo booth. So if you can't directly be involved in the holiday photo shoot, that's completely on us. You can come, stop by, still enjoy the photo booth, have a chance to win the Bears versus Detroit Lions tickets, and just get to know us. And hopefully next year you'll be a part of the holiday photo shoot. So that's something that's brand new. Usually a lot of our events are much cheaper. So something big that we do, Pete Goodwin and I do a lot, are we'll just say, hey, from 7 to 11, go to our local coffee shop, have a coffee on us. Not only are we supporting a local business, but last time we did nurses, police officers, firemen, and that's when we added the linemen. And it was, and I don't want to be sentimental, but it was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I walked into the locally owned coffee shop. I saw three police officers standing outside with their coffee. I walked in, there's 2 sets of tables completely full of nurses, and there's 2 sets of fire department men on their break drinking coffee, and then a police officer at the counter ordering his coffee. And we got to talk to them. We got to interact. The whole event cost $500. Country Financial covered $250 of it, and Pete Goodwin and I had $125 out of our pocket for that day, because coffee here is like $2. So it can hit a lot of people very, very affordably.
This is so smart. How often do you do these coffee events?
So we do them so we just did them for the teachers and staff when they went back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Any special day, so like if it's like police day, or you know how there's all this, so we try to play off those. So really, probably I would say every 2 to 3 months we're doing a different group, and again, it's all free through Facebook, because I don't know why, but my followers really just share like crazy. And so I have a really, really strong Facebook community. So the word gets out, and it's been really, really successful. So we don't pay for advertising. And like I said, I can do these events for less than $125.
Yeah, well, they share it because they like you and they appreciate what you do for the community. So they're happy to share it. They've got friends who are teachers or firefighters or whoever it is that you're supporting that time, and they want them to know about it. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Social media is your way to share these events. But I imagine I imagine you're in touch with your database and you're emailing and stuff like that too. Is that right?
We are. And then we will, we know a lot of people. Again, it's a small town. So I will email the administrators, like at the hospital. We hit all administrators. We hit, the major Carl, OSF. We hit all the county departments. We don't want to leave anybody out. So everybody that fits within this mold in Vermilion County gets to enjoy a treat on us. So yeah, we hit like a huge database of people and make sure that nobody is left in the dust. Everybody knows about it.
Your back to school one for the teachers, the superintendent told all the teachers about it, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So they sent out an email to the entire staff. We passed out flyers, did the social media. So, even if they can't make it, we're still getting people like tagging us, thanking us. So it's just something so easy that you can do to support your community. Mm-hmm. And it pays off big.
And there's a come list me right there. That notification. I'm sure somebody wants you to come list their house.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I think the thing about this is huge is you're meeting a lot of people too. So I imagine most of the people you meet are not necessarily in the market to buy or sell in the moment, but you're adding to the database. So how do you nurture those? How do you stay in front of them so that when they move from, hey, thanks for the coffee, to, hey, we want to buy or sell, you're the person they think of? Tell us a little bit about that process.
I feel like I've just built that really over the last 7 years in general. So because I have community support, I've really saturated our market. So when you think of real estate, you think of Hayley Siefert and the Siefert team. So the last coffee we did, the firefighter actually told me that he's like, I'm not in the market to buy a house, but I told, so-and-so who is that they needed to go through you. I've never met this guy. I've never talked to him. But I think it just helps with the amount of market share we have, that no matter where you turn, you're going to see our sign. You're going to see community support. You're going to see, an event that we sponsored. So it's not just staying on top of emails and calling, because I've honestly never picked up the phone to call someone and to work my database. And I know, Gary Keller probably hates that, but it's just trying to stay top of mind. And how that is, it's through marketing and talking to people and doing events like this. That's what I believe in.
Gary doesn't hate it. He's happy you've got half the market. And that's what he wants you to do. You go dominate your market. It doesn't matter how you do it. You figured out what your plays are, and you're running those plays, and you're running them consistently. And I'm just baffled that a $2 cup of coffee is turning into 300 units a year. That's effectively what you're doing. By the way, your average sale price is like 125,000. Like you're not selling multi-million-dollar homes. So the way you've got to sell a bunch to be able to hit some big goals for you. It's going to take a ton of units. What advice would you give to someone that's doing nothing, that they've got no system, they've got no events, they've got no way to stay in touch with their community, and yet they know they want to do that? What advice would you give them?
I would just say, get to know the people of your community. It's not hard to do. The very first thing I did when I moved back, I found a way to join Rotary, the Young Professionals Network, and just different clubs around Danville to make sure that I could be a part of those clubs and meet the people in them. But also, I joined boards and I gave back, and I made sure that like what I'm doing is making a difference in other people's lives, and people notice that. So I just think really just get involved. Don't just sit behind your computer, try to do a Facebook post, get out there. I've done drives for the animal shelters, just a lot of different organizations. I'm about to do a Thanksgiving Day food drive and delivery. So we're going to deliver to seniors' apartments, and just getting in front of them, having a conversation. And I mean, that goes a long way with people.
Are you a people-y person? Like, is this who you are? You're social, you like to be around people, you like to get things done. Are you just a little bit more kind of head down and get after it? What would you say is you?
Yeah, I'm not social. I can't walk in a room. My best friend can walk in a room and talk to anyone. That is not me.
Yeah.
I just grind. And that's truly how I do my business. I just know my systems. I know what I want to do. I know I just know my business, and I just grind. I put my head down, and it's what I do. I don't think twice about it. I know that's hard to explain, but it just is routine.
I get it, because I'm like you too. I'm not people-y, but I think that what we do is like to help people. You can be not social, but care so much passionately about your community. And that's the thing I want people to get, is that you don't have to be this super, bubbly life of the party person to give back to your community, support your community, and then have your community give back to you. It's just get up and run the play. So what have you learned in the 7 years? By the way, you're like 30 years old too, right? You've been you got in the business at 23.
Yeah.
You've been in the business 7 years. Mm-hmm. You built something absolutely massive. I imagine there have been people selling homes in Danville, Illinois that have been selling longer than you've been alive. Yet here you are, number one in market share. What have you learned over the last 7 years that you want people to know?
I feel like the most two things. I feel like the most important, number one, the most important is really just, it's no BS. Like when I meet people, I want them to know everything I'm saying is absolutely 100% genuine. I try, when I go into a seller's house, I try to give them the buyer's perspective so they know like what somebody's going to say. I lay it all out there. I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm like 100% real. I'm not going to say, hey, your home's worth 150,000 when it's worth 120. That's not going to get us anywhere. I don't need a sign in the yard just to get a listing. I want to make sure I'm doing my absolute best in my due diligence. And that is just being 100% real with people. And that goes so far, like not sugarcoating, just being real. I mean, they're going to respect that more than anything. And then I think something I've learned, because I did start so young, and obviously there were a ton of realtors when I started, all very mature. I was 23, had no idea what I was doing. I think it's so important to keep a good relationship with other realtors. And I've learned that over time, just because obviously now that we have a lower inventory, at least in my area, we still do. It's important to make sure that you work well with others and that you treat them with respect. So then that way, if it is a multiple offer situation, they want to work with you. They want to work with you over another realtor. And it's just, I feel like over the last year, I've learned that really, really well. And I try to work with other realtors, no matter what brokerage they're from. So then my clients' offers are getting accepted because not only is it a good offer, but they want to work with me and they know I'm going to make it a seamless process for everyone.
Can you like walk around town without people stopping you? I feel like you've got to be one of the biggest celebrities in Danville.
I hate that, but it's true. Yeah, no, not really. Yeah. No, because I have a billboard at, you know, when you first enter Danville, a billboard when you exit Danville. My signs are everywhere. Like I said, I just try to saturate the market. So when you think of real estate, you think of me. There's no other person in this game. Like I do it all.
What is your background? Did you play sports? Did you do something else? What did you do growing up?
I ran cross country. I ran cross country in college. And then I actually, after I graduated from the University of Illinois, I went out to Warner Brothers and I worked there for 3 years.
You ran cross country in the Big Ten, and ran in high school. By the way, I ran cross country too, so cheers to you on that. That's a really mental sport. How much is success in the business a mental sport?
Oh, I feel like it's all mental, but I try to you know, it can be such a mind game. And I feel like, you know, you get one thing that goes bad and that weighs on your heart more than 10 successful closings or 10 happy clients. So I feel like it's so mental and you just have to realize, and this is what I've realized over time is you're never going to make every single person happy. You're not going to jive with everyone. I mean, you're doing so much business or just dealing with the general public. Not everyone will like you, and that is okay. And that's something that's taken me a very long time to realize, because I would let something eat at me for days. Or my first Mother's Day, I found out that somebody went with another realtor. That's all okay, and it's going to happen in this business. No matter how successful you are, you're never going to be perfect for everybody you deal with. And that's okay. That took me a very long time to realize.
What's your final piece of advice for everybody watching?
I would say my final piece of advice is really just like I said, just to be yourself. It's going to go so much further than if you try to be someone that you're not. Somebody's going to respect that. They're going to want to work with you more. And just work. I mean, I was 7 days a week. Nothing was a no. I did as many open houses as I needed to on a property. I remember my first listing ever. I think I did 6 open houses, but I was meeting buyers. I was meeting people. I was marketing it double time just to get my name out there and help get their name sold. And guess what? Then you get so many different referrals from the grind and the effort that you put into that.
Hayley, I'm proud of you. Thanks so much for joining us and for sharing today too.
Thank you so much for having me.